Wherever and whenever you may be listening to us across the entire globe, it's time for Angels Monday. That's right, the best way to start out your week here on the Rainbow Psychics Radio Network. I'm Dax Carlisle calling in from Tucson, Arizona, and joining me out Amarillo way, my co-host here, TarotDactyl. Mary, are you there?
I am here. Happy Angels Monday, everybody.
Yay! Great way to start the week. Our other co-host, Maria, I saw her pop onto the screen, and she just popped off again. So we got to wait for her to Skype back in. She's coming. She's coming. She's got some really great stuff for us, too.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I mean, she was doing a paranormal class on Friday, and she's got recordings and all kinds of cool stuff. So it's going to be really interesting on the show today.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I love that stuff. Do you have any of those apps? I have the Ghost Radar app on my Kindle.
Oh my God, yeah, I got that, and I've never used it. I know what you're talking about.
It's so cool. It's freaky. I like to play with it. I haven't really. I just got it recently. I haven't really done too much with it, but I'd love to hear what else she learned in her class. It sounds like she had a really cool experience. Yes, and everybody's shouting hellos in the chat room already. Triscuit's in there, and Casper Paranormal. We are a live call-in show. Just want to put that out there that we're going to talk about, paranormal investigations and a bunch of other stuff today, but you can call in. So I guess I'll give the call-in number while we're waiting. We're still waiting. I'm sorry for the delay, folks. We're still waiting for Maria to get onto the board here so we can start the show. But in the meantime, I'll give out the call-in number. Everybody can get into the queue if you're listening live. We'd love to chat with you. 347-637-3372. Get your pen and pencil ready, and I'll give the number out again in a minute here. You can jot this down. It's good for all our shows. We take calls on the Monday show and the Friday Rowdy Rear show. So you start out your week and you end your week with us here on Rainbow Psychics Radio. Oh, gosh. And you can also Skype into the show, like Maria's trying to do right now, right, Mary? Yeah, she just posted in the chat room that if she can't get in for some way, you might, I guess, just try refreshing again. I know it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's frustrating. You might even have to restart. I couldn't even get Skype to launch on my computer. It's like a few minutes before the show, and I 99.9% of the time, I just, click the button, the Skype fires up, and, this time, nothing. So I guess in the future, as I'm getting ready for the radio shows, hours earlier, I'm going to need to fire the Skype up and make sure it works, I guess, because I had to call in on the cell phone today.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought about trying to Skype in. I'm glad I didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, hopefully she'll get on here. Meanwhile, the Skype button is up by the call-in number on the show page. So if you're in the chat room, just go up above the chat room. You'll find the Skype button. You call in from anywhere in the world, because we do have listeners around the entire globe. By the way, if you're listening live and for some reason, somehow you're listening live and for some reason you're not in the chat room, go to the show page, and you do that by going over to blogtalkradio.com, and it's /Rainbow Psychics, and you'll see the red live show link, and then you can go right onto the show page there, join us in the chat room, and you can also Skype into the show. Okay, got that pen and paper ready. Here it comes, 347-637-3372. If you want to call in and chat with us, you can call in for a free mini reading, angel message, or just to chat with us. Maybe you want to, comment on what we're going to be discussing today with the paranormal investigations, electronic voice phenomenon, and ghosts, and all that kind of stuff. Or maybe you want to ask us a metaphysical question about dowsing or tarot or numerology. Give us a ring. Okay, and Maria's on here, so we're going to bring Maria on. She made it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
Yay, you're here. Oh, boy. I tell you, hi, everybody. I'm exhausted trying to get into the show today. Unbelievable. Oh.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't know what's going on either because, the last several Mondays, at least the last 3 or 4 in a row, the chat room was full. The phone lines were, ringing off the hook. Today, it's just dead silence. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I really couldn't post any, promos for the show. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't have the link.
Yeah, but I posted all the promos. I've been posting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's very unusual. But
just like I normally do, and, I put it on Twitter several times this morning. I don't know. It's kind of strange. Oh. We do have one phone call, which we can go to in a couple of minutes here. And, wow. So... Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting a message here. I'll go read that in a second here. But, oh, gosh, where do we start? It's like we were having so many technical difficulties in the beginning of the show that, I'm kind of, normally I have everything set, what I'm going to say and how I'm going to do it and everything like that. But, it threw me for a loop. I couldn't get Skype to work. I couldn't get Skype to get, you at least have Skype working. I can't even get it to load, to activate on my computer at all. I don't know. It's like I even went in and looked in my programs. I found the Skype folder, but within the folder, I couldn't find the program. So it's like somehow it got deleted from my computer or something. I don't know. Very confusing stuff.
We have, being that it's a little late, let's try and get going here because I have a lot of stuff to share with you guys today. And maybe it's good that there's not so many callers in queue and that we can talk about a lot of this stuff. It's very interesting. And hanging on the line waiting to talk with us, and he has a busy afternoon scheduled, is my friend Chris Johansen. You guys know him as Casper Paranormal. I attended his paranormal research class last Friday night. We had a blast. I have lots of information to share with you, photos, audio clips, and he's on the line. He's in Florida. He's usually here on Long Island where I am, but he's on tour in Florida right now, and he has some big events going on out there. So he only has a few minutes with us today. So is it okay if we go right to him?
Oh, of course. We'll just bring Chris on right now, and just give me a second to find him on the switchboard here. Okay, here we go. Yay, Chris is with us again. Howdy.
Howdy, how are you guys today?
Fabulous.
We're good.
Now that we finally all got on here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's good talking to all of you again. I think this is my 3rd time on with you guys, so it's always great to be on your show.
Thank you.
And by the way, Maria, I just noticed that more technical difficulties. I just noticed that Mary Brown dropped off. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, so hopefully she'll call back in. Wow, this is just ridiculous.
It is.
God.
Very bad today.
Anyway, but let's chat with Chris and find out what's going on. Yeah. It is what it is.
All right, Maria, you head it up. You tell me what you thought.
Okay, Chris. Well, I had a fantastic time. My friend Kathy took the class with us also. She joined us, so, it was really a lot of fun. You told us about so many interesting things. You showed us samples of video footage that you took on your prior investigations in different buildings and people's homes and wherever. The class that Chris and his partner Angelo Genova taught last Friday night, they demonstrated the use of different equipment that's used during paranormal investigations, and then they took us on a field trip to a cemetery, and we took our own photos, and we went back home later and we took a look at them, and boy, was there lots of activity in those photos. Did you get a chance to look at all the photos I uploaded, Chris?
I got a chance about 50% of them the day after I was actually, going to Florida. So it was kind of really difficult to put everything together. I had to put the video together. I had to, oh my God, it was so,
I understand.
Such a tight schedule. So I haven't even uploaded all my photos yet. Just for all the you paranormal investigators out there, when you do take the photos, I wonder what that was on. Oh. Angelo will also be calling in, just so you know. He just
great.
texted me and let me know. But when you do take your photos, the most important thing that you should remember is to take 3 in a row. So if you have an apparition or an orb or something like that, and if you're questioning whether or not it's real, if you take 3 photos in a row and that orb or apparition is still in the same exact spot, it's probably a camera flaw or a reflection off of something that may be nearby. Now, mind you, the reflection can be from a light fixture that's not even on if you're at your house, or if you're in a cemetery, it could be from a street light very far away, and the reflection actually goes off of the camera lens and makes it into an orb, just so you guys know. As I think Maria found out.
Right. And that was what I really liked is that when you took those 3 in a row, you could actually follow the movement of some of the orbs as they traveled.
That is correct. I believe you had a good one. It actually started on the bottom. You took another picture, and it moved up to the top of the tree, and then you took another picture, and it was on the right-hand side of the tree halfway down again.
Yes, and very interesting. Also, at that point, I was calling to the angels, and I was asking for an angel to show itself to me, and that I would love to photograph an orb of an angel. And right after that, like 2 more clicks of the camera after that, I got a large golden color orb, which was very different from any of the other orbs that showed up on my photos all night, whether they were, actual orbs or reflections. It was the only one of that color that showed up.
No, that was definitely an orb. It was actually very cool color. I'm gonna actually see if I can bring something up. LOR color. There are different colors of orbs that mean different things.
Right.
And I'm trying to find it as we speak. That's why I'm sort of not sounding like I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I had a list too. Let me see if I can
No,
come
it's
up
actually
with...
one that I've always had, and it's always been on my site. But
I think I got this from you, actually, Chris.
Oh, you might have. Yeah.
It says colors of orbs, and it's all the different blocks of colors. And it's on a black background with white text. Is that what you're referring?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it right here in front of me. It says,
if you want to post that on the site, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool graph to go by, what they would mean. And I think that everybody should, at one time, go and take pictures, even in your own house. All right, take the pictures and see what you find. I think you'll be very surprised. If you see a huge cluster of what they call round orbs or something like that, if it's a lot of cluster, maybe 25, 30 a shot, most likely it's a moisture or a defect or something coming off the camera that is not real, that 90%, 99% of the orbs that you do photograph are phony, not by your taking, just by coincidence of reflection or camera pull.
Yeah, and there was something else I wanted to bring up about that night that went on. Oh, there was, after looking at all these photos, and the skepticism that you have in yourself, because anything new that we don't really know much about, I think it's normal and natural to be skeptical. And I know that you definitely understand that, Chris, because you always talk about how, you don't believe in anything, and you don't even believe in what you do.
I just got trashed, actually, in a reading that I did. And if anybody knows my site, I just posted, yes, I do believe in God. I don't know if anybody saw that post that I had. I do believe in God, but I call him a higher power. I don't necessarily believe, I don't necessarily call him God, but I respect everybody's belief. But I do believe in God. I don't know what his exact name is, but I did a reading for somebody. They came from Connecticut over to the ferry, and she said, I do not feel comfortable getting a reading from you because you said you do not believe in God. I said, no, ma'am. I said, I believe in a superior being, a higher power, which I do. And most mediums and psychics and tarot believe in a higher power. In all reality, we don't know exactly what the person's name is. It's only what we've been taught over years. And I just got trashed. She canceled her next reading with me and everything. I feel awful about it, but she sort of misunderstood what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
So I want to bring up the spirit box because I know you liked that.
Yes. Before you do that, I just want to say one more thing. So me being the skeptic that I am, I decided that I wanted to take some comparison photos. So last night I went out in my backyard in the dark. The weather was very similar to the weather we had on Friday night. I went out around the same time of night, and I used the same camera with the same settings. And I took a bunch of photos in my yard, and there was a couple of pictures that looked like there were maybe some orbs in them, but it was not nearly as much activity as was in the cemetery. And that just poses more questions to my mind, because I say to myself, well, from what I understand, spirit and the soul is free to roam the universe however it wishes. So why, in that case, then, would there be so much energy and spirit around a cemetery? Because technically, as far as from what I understand, your soul leaves your body. It's not part of your body. So if your body is buried in the cemetery, your soul is off wherever else. But yet, there's a lot of activity in the cemetery.
I agree with you. Your body is just a vessel. When you die, the vessel leaves. But yet, when I do my readings, I can see that same vessel because they sort of how do you want to say, materialize in a way that they were remembered by. So when I can do my readings, I do see the people. Why do they congregate around a cemetery? I don't think that they necessarily congregate around a cemetery because we've had that kind of progress and pictures taken in many places, people's homes, everywhere we go, we have those things. You just didn't happen to have it that night in your back. If you do it again tonight, you may.
Okay.
So
I'll take that.
That's why you have to, you have to continue. It's not a one-shot investigation time. It's something that you have to do over years to realize that they are everywhere. It's not just a graveyard. It was the atmosphere. It was the energy of just the people itself inside a graveyard. Everybody knows that in a graveyard, in the midnight, but in the dark hours, it's eerie to be walking around a graveyard. Right. So we thought that would be a best thing than to walk around somebody's house, and get the best atmosphere and see what you can find, and to show you what we get up against when we have to go to somebody's house that it truly thinks that it's haunted. Mind you, most houses that we go to are not haunted. There are many, many explanations of why they hear the noises that they hear, just so you know.
Right. So the spirit box. Could you tell everybody what a spirit box is, Chris?
Yes, I can. Angela's asking a freaking conference call. I'm just gonna answer and tell him no, just to call in. But hold on, I'll do that right now.
Okay.
A spirit box is actually something that goes on the frequency that the spirits talk on. It's like white noise. It is a box that is put together that is on FM frequencies, but it scans the frequencies at a higher level and a higher vibration, and it picks up different noises, and you can actually hear. Sometimes you'll hear a radio station pass, sometimes you'll hear somebody talk, and then the questions. Actually, we had asked a question, and that's on the video. I posted the video on your site just a little while ago as well.
Okay.
And that video, you can hear the people talking when we asked them a question, and they answered it.
Right.
So that was really pretty cool. Along with the K2 meter that I believe somebody was saying, what's that green light? What's that green light up against the tombstone? And that is a K2 meter, which is a ghost meter, which it's an EMF meter, which shows energy when something passes by it.
Right. And that we had an experience with that night when you put it by one of the stones. And you told me, come over here, come closer and stand near this because there was activity and the lights were going off. When I came over there, I felt a surge of energy. My whole scalp and head was tingling.
And that's on camera, actually. You're saying that is on the camera.
Yeah. And I'm not kidding you. So anybody out there, if you're skeptical, you know what? Go out and check out these things for yourself. Test them out yourself. The equipment is available. You don't even really need much to start with. Just a good digital camera, and test it out for yourself. See for yourself. Dax, you had that Spirit Box audio clip?
I sure do. Also, I wanted to let you know that Mary's back. We got TarotDactyl back on the line. She had a power outage and just like everything went out at once.
I think the spirits are messing with us.
They might very well be.
Because that's part of why the equipment works. When you test it, it affects the energy of the equipment.
Listen, guys, I'm not going to interrupt, but I, as you all know, I am in Florida, and I need to get to a reading now. Angelo from Casper Paranormal is going to be calling in about 5 minutes. He's going to give his version of what went on. I'm sorry to cut out so quick, but if I don't take a shower now,
thanks for calling in.
I'm
all right, thank you, Chris. Yeah, I know you were in a hurry. I really appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, Maria, I want to thank you and all your peeps there coming to the paranormal class. It was awesome. And, guys, always it's a pleasure being on your show. So thank you so much.
You too. Have a safe trip. Enjoy.
Thank you, dear. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, Dax,
Alrighty.
Let's wait for Angelo to call in then before we play the Spirit Box because he can help us translate what was being said. Some of it is hard to understand.
Oh, yeah. And I think he's calling in now, so it'll just be a minute here.
Okay.
And while we're waiting for that, let me just let everybody know that the phone lines are wide open. So if you want to call in, because I see more people going into the chat room now. By the way, Trisket in the chat room has a reading question. They can't Skype in or call in, so they're going to ask via the chat room after we're done with the presentation.
Sure.
But I do see more people getting into the chat room now, so I'm going to give out the phone number again, 347-637-3372, if you want to call in and chat with us today. Free readings, and we're going to play the Spirit Box audio. It's only about 3 minutes.
Right.
And there was something else. I know, because you guys were just going on and on and on, and I didn't get. That's perfectly fine. It's just I wanted to jump.
Rush.
I wanted to. It was a little rushed, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to interrupt. I wanted to hear what you guys were saying, but I wanted to put my 2 cents in, and I also want to hear Mary's 2 cents about what you were saying about, there being more, spirit entities at a graveyard and so forth. And I know Chris was kind of saying that, well, not really, but I disagree to some extent. I feel that there's reasons why there is heightened activity in certain places, and it just makes so much logical sense.
I feel like that too.
Well, what you said, Maria, about, okay, well, the body is just the corpse, and the spirit is a disincarnate entity at this point, so it doesn't make sense from, when you initially look at the concept, it doesn't make sense that why would the body and where it is in the graveyard have anything to do with the spirit itself? Well,
right.
It doesn't. I mean, the spirit can go anywhere it wants. However, you have to realize that there is a residual connection, and so a lot of them don't even know that they've passed. But the last place that there's a lot of energy. Okay, let's think someone passes away. We have the funeral. We bring the casket to the graveyard. We have all the chairs. Everybody sits and they speak and everything like that. That's a lot of energy. All those people, the people that knew you in life, are all there focused in that one place over that grave. It makes sense that the spirit would be drawn there, and then maybe some residual energy gets stuck there. In other words, the spirit, as far as I don't know how to put this, but the consciousness, the sentience of the spirit, like where it would interact with you, may or may not be there. It may be just residual energy where it just seems like it's on a loop. But if you ask questions and it answers back, well, that's a different story. Now you've got the actual consciousness going on there. But graveyards, houses where, somebody passed away, places where a lot of hangings took place, battlefields, of course it makes sense that there would be a higher incidence. But, yes, spirits, you can find them anywhere. Mary, what do you think about the topic?
I think that makes a lot of sense to me, because I always kind of feel like, any place that we go, whether it's a cemetery, which is kind of a lot of times I feel like cemeteries are places for us to have those conversations, or to be, as close as we can get to someone that has already passed, But I think also, it doesn't really matter too much where you're at. I mean, a lot of times with what we do, it's like, I think you find that, if your thoughts are focused on something, on someone who has passed, and they, there's certain things that just kind of pop into your mind, suddenly they pop into your mind, that kind of thing. It definitely, I think that shows us they can be anywhere. But, yeah, I think that, these graveyards, mausoleums, all these tributes that we make to the dead, I kind of feel like, in a sense, that's where we go to communicate with them.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it makes sense. Angelo's on the line. We're going to bring Angelo on as soon as the switchboard cooperates. Are you there, Angelo?
No, I'm here. You there?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hello, hey, how's everyone doing?
All right,
Good.
very
Good.
Good, glad to be with you here.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Angelo. We need your expertise.
All right, let's go. Let's do this. What do we need?
Okay, well, we have that audio clip of the spirit box.
Of that night?
Of that night, yes.
Okay.
And we'd like to play it. It's about 3 minutes or so, and maybe you can, after it's done playing, you can help us understand some of the things that were being said, because not all of it is hard to discern.
Sure thing.
I mean, it's easy to discern.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. Unless you listen to it all the time and you get used to the white noise, and you could almost mentally tune it out. It takes a while to get used to these things. Any kind of equipment, especially the spirit box, how noisy it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you don't know which noise to pick out, it's a hard instrument to work with.
Okay.
But it is amazing, though, because, I mean, I've been hearing these types of recordings Spirit Box, EVP, on various radio shows, especially, of course, Coast to Coast AM, for 30 years now, and it's amazing how you can actually pick it out. Especially if you hear it over a couple of times. You're like, I know on Coast to Coast.
Which setting to actually use, because you could run it from a slow speed to a fast speed. You could use AM frequency. You can use a FM frequency, and they all differ and they all work. But just fine tuning it to what you can hear. That's the way to go. So.
Right.
We're good.
Angelo, can I ask a quick question?
Absolutely.
It's something I've always wondered about. Years and years ago, I was in the military, and I did a lot of listening to radio traffic.
Okay.
And it is, it seems sort of similar to what you're talking about, like kind of messing with the frequency and seeing who's on different frequencies, and you're going down the dial and everything. And is it possible to pick up spirit over that kind of communication as well? Because there's a lot of things that we would hear that were just weird and, weren't what we were targeting. And I always wondered, what was that?
Absolutely. Any type of frequency modulation that goes through the airways can be converted to what a spirit box can pick up. Actually, you've heard stories of spirits trying to communicate through the phone lines. The phone would ring, and people would hear white noise on the phone. So something like that is not really strange to happen. If the energy is strong enough, they can do it.
Wow. That's so wild.
Yes.
And
for the folks that are let me just let everybody know, because I got callers calling in and stuff like that, and I want to let them know that don't worry, we are going to get to you after this presentation. Okay, so just hold on. We'll get to the calls a little bit later. 347-637-3372. So the Spirit Box recording is about 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's play that.
Okay, let's go.
So here we go, folks. We're going to play this now.
Actually, it feels nice. I actually keep seeing something moving over there out of the corner of my eye every time I turn around.
That's good.
Then there's nothing there.
That's me.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
The thing just said that's me.
Oh, it is? Who are you?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Inch. Again?
No. What is your name? Speak clearly. Speak clearly.
What is your name? I have this on. I'll see if I can pick anything up on this, too.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you still there? Or did you move on?
My name is Chris.
My name's Kathy.
Hi.
Hi.
Would you like us to leave now?
Do you mind if we stay for a while?
there's a lot of energy around these trees over here.
Go.
Would you like us to leave? Say yes or no. Would you like us to leave?
No.
No.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
I guess we can stay. Thank you.
So we're having a lot of activity on the Spirit Box, as you can see. So, Chris's favorite toy.
That's right.
That's right.
The only thing I believe in.
So they're catching a lot of good photos on the camera.
Brand new batteries, now dead.
Oh,
Is that
boy.
right?
Yep. Okay. Batteries exhausted.
What kind of battery?
It doesn't matter. I'm done. I've taken over 75 pictures. I'm done.
Okay.
I know. I think I've had enough now too. But I just wanted.
70.
You fixed it. What?
Somebody said, no, why?
Okay.
I ran out of memory.
Look at this.
Oh. Let me see.
Nice.
Oh, I love the color.
I asked for an angel, and that's to shut up.
So tonight we do the paranormal class. We came to the
It's like golden.
Yeah, and it's huge. It is huge, yeah.
A lot of things going on. My battery is
nice.
totally exhausted.
Oh, there's a lot of activity right around this tree over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
We're going to be
back in this
out
direction?
Now. We'll leave the other two behind. They're probably going to sleep overnight here.
No.
They did bring you sleeping bags.
You got to see what I just got all around this tree. Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
I'm going to go get...
All right. So that was really interesting. But unfortunately, we were all talking about other things that were going on at the same time.
Right.
Before we even all realized that Kathy was recording what you were getting on a spirit box. But I
just caught now, and I didn't catch then, is when we asked it if we could stay or if you want us to go. There was a first really clear no, and then I don't know if we heard it because we asked it again. But the first time it answered, it was very clear. So if you go back and listen to it again.
The no was when we asked if we could stay?
So we could stay, yes. If you want us to leave, it said no.
Okay. So it said
very clear. I didn't hear it the first time when we were there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting when Chris was saying about that he took about 75 pictures and he was ready to call it a night, and it corrected him and said 70. I wonder.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah, I know. I wonder, did he actually go back and see how many photos there actually were, and were there really 70?
Oh, I really don't know.
Yeah, that's funny.
I didn't ask him. All I know is they were strong there that night because they drained my phone down quick.
Wow.
Yeah, which was amazing. Which that usually doesn't happen to me a lot. It happens to a lot of other people, but I was kind of glad to see that. So there was strong energy.
Yeah. I just want to point out, I had mentioned earlier in the show that you would be calling in and that you're Chris's partner and that you both work together in your business. It's called the Casper Paranormal Research Team.
Correct.
How many years have you guys been doing this together?
Together with Brad, a little over 4 years we're together.
Okay.
But he's been doing what he did before, and I did also years before. So which we haven't seen each other in so long, and we just met about 5 years ago and hit it up again, so which was nice.
Wonderful. So this is something that you've been doing then before the both of you have been working together. You always had an interest in this, or
always had an interest. Some my family members were gifted, and always when you're young and you're going back a long time, everything was hush hush. You don't say nothing. My gift was I used to finish people's sentences. They were talking, and I would finish, and they go like, "How do you know what I'm going to say?" I was like, "I don't know." So
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So it was like radar from Maas. Always knew what people were going to say. That was my gift.
Do you ever? This is the funny thing. I was very excited about going on this little field trip that night, as I call it, what we did.
Right.
And the funny thing is, it wasn't scary. Like, people would look at these photos and maybe think it was scary. It really wasn't scary, and have you ever had any investigations that you would say you really felt scared?
It is. I welcome this stuff, so I don't get that scared. But we did a investigation at a Jewish cemetery here in New York, and my daughter, who was on our team at the time, got violently pushed down. So, yeah, that was the only time I say I would have been scared is because something happened to her. Flat on her back. I mean, it was like somebody just ran into her like a football tackle and just put her right down.
God.
Yeah, there was something evil there that night. And that's when I have learned how to control my mind over evil things, evil energies. Chris had taught me very well how to do that. So, now I go in with that frame of mind, and nothing really scares you because, you're stronger than anything out there. The only reason that people get scared is because they wanted to control them instead of you controlling it.
Right.
That's why I always tell people, if you don't want a spirit around you, just tell it to move. That's laws of nature. If you don't want it there, tell it to move.
Tell it to go away.
Tell it to leave you alone, and that's what laws of nature are supposed to do. But then you get the wise guys that stick around and really joke with you.
It might take a little while longer.
Yeah.
Angelo, I've got a question. This is TarotDactyl. I was just wondering, okay, that idea that this is the thing that always confuses me about paranormal investigations and ghosts in general, is that, okay, we're alive. We've got so much more energy. We can manifest things and take action on the physical plane. How are they able to push somebody down then?
That's if they were an angry individual here, they're going to be an angry individual on the other side. So they're going to take that energy that they were here and carry it over. Mm-hmm. And just and they could pull other people's energies. So the combination of that, and if they know how to do it on the other side, I don't know how they do it, but they could actually become stronger. They say, if you're mean here, you're mean on the other side.
Well,
that's what it is.
What I'm thinking, Mary, is that a couple of things. One is that there's a reason why this isn't happening all the time, and that's because most of them don't know how to do that. That's why you don't have spirits knocking us down all the time. And the second thing is it takes a tremendous amount of energy. The average spirit would not be able to do that. I think that this could have been a conglomeration of spirits. It could have been, a group of spirits. It could have been a singular dark entity that had a lot of power or something along those lines. Also, if the situation is exactly right. In other words, if, you don't notice it, but, she's walking along and she steps just right and it's on the right surface and twists the ankle slightly this way, and then it only takes like a small amount of energy because you're off, if you're off center or off balance for 5 seconds or a fraction of a second, that's all it takes, and then you don't even need that much energy to throw the person down, man.
I'll ask you something now. Has anybody had a personal experience with an angel saving somebody in their family's life?
I haven't had a personal one, but I've heard so many stories.
You mean like physically?
Physically. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you my story.
Physically jumping in front or something like that.
Saving them from some kind of accident or some kind of tragedy.
When they jerk the wheel, the hand comes out of nowhere and jerks the wheel so you don't crash, that kind of thing?
I'm going to tell you a personal story with my daughter. She was in a very, very bad car accident. A tractor trailer hit her. She had a little car. Should have been dead. And my father is gone. She said she saw Grandpa, which is my father, in the seat right next to her, wrapped himself around her and saved her.
Wow.
Yeah, so when they got, the firemen, the rescue got there, said this one's dead. And she only came out with scratches.
Wow.
That's strong energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say, wow.
Well, I get the chills just talking about it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My husband had an experience when he was very young. Him and a friend were out in Manhattan, and it was late one night, and I think they were bar hopping or something, of that nature. And they got into a verbal altercation inside one of the bars with a couple of people. Next thing they know, they were leaving the bar and heading somewhere else, and the whole group of guys were following them. And they were getting closer and closer. They were banging bottles, breaking bottles, and the two of them tried not to look over their shoulders, and him and his friend, they were saying, just keep walking, don't look back. And then all of a sudden, from around the corner, out of nowhere, appeared a cab, and just when this gang or whatever it was getting really close to them, the cab driver opened the car door and says, "Get in, guys!" And they jumped in and they took off. And the group of guys were running after them and throwing the bottles at them, and then they just they got away from them. And they feel like that an angel, either an angel, a guardian angel, or somebody sent that cab at the right time. And if I remember correctly,
somebody stepped in at the right time. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then. When they got out of the cab to go away, before they could even thank the guy, the cab was gone, and so they don't know.
Maria,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, because I've heard two similar stories, almost identical to what you just said, and literally the cab appears out of nowhere, and as soon as they get out and they're safe, disappears into the ether. You know, so it's not just that a actual cab with an actual cabbie showed up at the right time. This really was an entire spiritual thing, like where the cab driver was the angel.
Yeah,
literally.
It could have been. Yeah. That's what they think.
Did they have to pay the fare?
I don't remember now. You know, I think they did. I don't remember the whole story. I'm trying to tell it to the best of my ability. And
well, if I know the story and you hear it from a couple other people, the same thing, before they can even pull the money out of their pants, the cab is gone.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm gonna have to get him to reiterate that story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the answer is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I haven't
had anything like that. But my husband and I were in a really bad accident in January, and I had somebody talking to me and talking me through it. Told me 10 minutes before it happened that I was going to be in a wreck, and I just kind of was like, okay, that's just my mind talking. And then during the actual carnage, you know, the rotating of the, you know, the spinning and the crazy noises and everything, it was like somebody, I didn't see anybody though, but it was like we were being protected. It was almost like someone had their arms around us and was saying, just relax. You're going to be okay.
I
but you know,
foresee that. If we were near her and she had told her daughter too many times, don't go out with that person, they're going to get into a car accident. And if you go, you're going to be involved with it. And she wouldn't go, and her friend was getting in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
My aunt would foresee that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But I wanted to point out that even though it seems like these things happen a lot, they actually happen very, very, very infrequently, because it takes tremendous amount of energy on that side to do anything on this side, even, you know, move a pin. And so most of the time, when you hear about these stories, the vast majority of the time, they are hearing instructions like what TarotDactyl was just saying. They're seeing images, which takes a lot less energy than to actually physically interact with the physical plane. I think that takes tremendous amounts of energy, and very few entities that are discarnate can do that.
I agree. It does. It takes a lot of energy. Yeah.
We are getting really short on time, so I think we should let Angelo go. And thank you very much for calling in, Angelo. And
my pleasure. It's
chatting with us.
Thanks.
All right, don't forget to visit our webpage, CasperParanormal.com.
That's right.
Absolutely. We need a follow, Angelo. We need a follow-up class.
We will. We're going to do it again because I said I'm volunteering my time right now for a Sandy victim's house, and everybody that's in this house wants to do something. So I said we're going to do something special for them for volunteering their time, and we're going to have definitely another follow-up class. So looking forward to it.
All right,
everyone.
God bless you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
You know what would be really cool? I don't know if you're planning on doing more of this, Maria, but if you are, you know, maybe once a month or so like that, you know, you guys can come on with your latest recordings, and we can play the EVPs.
That'd be cool.
And yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Chat with Angelo and Chris, of course, and anybody else that's out there with you. Yeah, so we should do that, make it a regular feature of the show, you know, every few weeks or so. Yeah, I mean, you know, whenever you guys do it, it doesn't have to be like every month, you know, but every 5, 6, 7 weeks. Whenever you do it, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and let's give out their website one more time. It's CasperParanormal.com, I believe.
CasperParanormalResearch.com.
Research.com. Okay. All righty. Everybody, if you've been waiting to call in, I know people we've, you know, been chatting about the paranormal activity, but, you know, this is the time to jump on the line. We might have an opportunity to answer a question or two. 347-637-3372. You can also Skype into the show. And we have the angel messages of the week, too. Who's doing the angel messages?
Oh, I think I am. Oh, boy.
Well, if you're not prepared for it, we can always – I was going to say, you know, because if you have them, fine. If you don't have them, remember, we can always put them on the website. We can put them on our group,
And we can also, do the audio a different way later, and republish it, because we're starting to publish things to our YouTube channel, folks. And so you're gonna be able to listen to and maybe even see the cards when we do the angel messages. At least the weeks where you guys are pulling cards. I know some weeks you don't pull cards; you do it other ways. But but if you're pulling cards, we can actually show the actual cards and stuff like that. Well, before we get to any phone calls, or we'll do the angel messages right after we take a call or two. But before we do anything, I just want to let everybody know how to get a hold of us. First of all, Mary Brown, TarotDactyl, her website is TarotDactyl.net, and then Maria, MysticInsightsTarot.com, and then I'm DaxHasYourNumber.com. That's DaxHasYourNumber.com. There we go. Okay, so we got a couple calls on here, and then Trisket wants us to pull some cards for them. They say, I would like to know, when am I getting my disability hearing, and I am finally going to, I think he or she, I don't know if it's a he or she, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask.
Okay.
I think what she's saying is, if it's a she, I would like to know when I'm getting my disability hearing and if I'm going to win my case. Yeah, and she's a she. She's a she.
Okay. She's a she. Okay. Just shuffling my cards.
Okay. We're shuffling here. We're just going to pull a card, too, and get an answer for Trisket real quick, and then we'll take some phone calls. So I know Jane's, or it says Jane on here. She's holding on, and then we've got a phone call, too. All righty.
Okay.
So Mary or Maria, whoever's first, ready, just jump in.
Okay. It's getting a little, I'm trying to absorb the, looking. Okay. Well, it looks to me like there's definitely a lot of emotions brought up with this, and I feel like there may have been a lot of changes going on. It's a lot of things emotionally dragging on through this whole ordeal, and it's really affected, like you mentally, as far as stress-wise on the mind, but. This is saying, hang in there, because every day you're moving step by step towards your goal, and you don't want to lose sight. You don't want to lose sight of that goal. Okay, don't just keep your it's like, be like a horse with blinders on. Just stay focused on that goal. Don't let anything veer you off your course. Stay focused. If this is, I see it. It's really difficult. There are some things here in the situation that it's not going to be a total win-win. I mean, it's somebody's going to have to give up something here, and the final outcome card I have received is the card of the Emperor, and this is the Angel Tarot that I'm using, and the Emperor in this card represents Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is about strength and courage and power. So just knowing what I know about Archangel Michael and having this card in the outcome is telling me that there, you do have what it takes to win your battle here, okay? And you really need to just stay focused and don't let anything deter you. And because the other side, they'll do whatever they can to make you lose ground. Okay, so you just have to really stay focused here. It's very, very important. And I think that it looks like it could be a good outcome here with Archangel Michael, but it's not going to be easy.
And Mary, did you pull cards?
Okay.
Yes, I did pull cards, and I I know you had a timing question, so I just pulled a rune on the timing just to see what would come up with that. But I really agree with what Maria's saying. I mean, I get the Hanged Man that came up that feels like, things are at a standstill, and we're just like, waiting as it all hangs in the balance. And then also the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords come up as well, and that definitely, I think, speaks to just the difficulties involved, and really don't get discouraged, I think is the big message from all of those cards coming up. And yeah, it's going to take some time. As far as when, I'm just throwing this out there, but the time frame that came up with my rune drawing was the October 29th through November 12th time frame. So look for that as a time where either you get some news or you have the hearing. And again, that's October 29th through the November 12th time frame. But, I do feel the other card that came up is the Lover's card. And so I think that, that's saying that, like, it's not going to be, there may be kind of a duality to the result of it, where maybe, you get part of what you want. If it's a disability here, is it a disability rating hearing? Like maybe, the numbers might shift a little on what percentage you get and what benefits come with that. I just feel like there's a duality with it. But, the big thing is don't get discouraged, and, don't during this waiting time frame.
You know what I got? It just matches up with what you both got. I did a 5-card yes/no. I got 3 out of 5 yeses, so 3 yes, 2 no. Normally when it's split up like that, it means there's something left to do, with which both Maria and Mary both said. I got 2 8 cards, and the number 8 is abundance in numerology. And in the center, between the 2 8 cards, is the King of Coins. It looks really good. Now, the work and everything that Maria and TarotDactyl were talking about, the 2 8s I did get was the 8 of Pentacles, hard work, and the 8 of Swords. So it's exactly what they were talking about. The last 2 cards was the 3 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. And, whenever you get the Ace, you get a fresh start. And I'm looking at this together, and Swords indicating more towards fall, winter, and the 3 from the 3 of Wands, that I think it could take as much as 3 months for it to totally manifest, which actually does take us into winter, represented by the Ace of Swords. So it just fits right in there. You just got to hold out, so to speak. All righty. Well, hopefully that answered your question, Trisket, and we're going to go to Jane here. Are you there, caller?
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry about that. I thought you were still talking with the other person.
Yeah, well, we're moving quickly here because we're going overtime, so we need to finish up the show, but we want to get to you guys. So what's your question for us so we can do it real quick?
I just want to know about, will I start making some money soon? Some real money. So I have more coming in than's going out?
That's always good, right?
Yeah, it would be good. I had that same question. Well, if you could send the money, that would be even better. All right. Jane, right? You said your name is? Pardon me? Your name is Jane? Yes. Okay. Just want to focus on you.
Yeah. Just real quickly, what I'm getting, I am getting 4 out of 5 yes cards. I did a yes/no in my head, is this going to happen for you? It looks like it is, and I've got really positive cards like the 10 of coins and the 8 of coins, which, talk about that. Now, there's a lot of work involved because there's that 8 of Pentacles again, which we got in the last reading, and there's 2 10 cards. 10 is overkill. In numerology, 9 is the end of the cycle. 10 is that fraction of a second before the cycle starts over again at 1. And getting the 10 of Wands, it just seems like you're so overburdened right now, and you need some help.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. You know, and whenever I get two of the same number card, you know, it's like telling me to focus on this, and that seems to be the main issue here. You know, and maybe if you got more clarified on a particular direction or with a particular income source or something like that, that you'd have more success. That it's almost like it's got, like there's too many irons in the fire. Mary and Maria, what are you getting?
Okay, well, this is Maria Maas, Jane, and I use my Angel Tarot for you. And the cards that I'm picking up here, that, you know, they're telling me that if you feel stuck, you know what? That's just an illusion. Okay? You have to picture yourself unstuck and picture money flowing in, and money flowing in from different sources, and more than more than what you need. Okay? Because you have the Ace of Earth. Okay? And the Ace of Earth is, you know, it's potential for money to come in, and on a grand scale, really. It's a card of abundance flowing in towards you. And you also have the Ace of Fire, which tells me that you know, there's a new opportunity on the horizon for you. Okay, so you don't want to get so stuck, you know, in the fear or the worry, because that's just an illusion. You just want to be open to good opportunities, and you know, it's like follow your dreams, because you also got the card of the dreamer, and you know, an opportunity that's going to come up, it's going to require a leap of faith, so to speak, for this really to come into fruition and to, you know, to really get it moving. So if an opportunity comes your way that you're like, wow, you know, that seems really good, but could it possibly work? You know what? That's the one. Go for it. And
that's probably what I'm doing now. Is that what I'm working on now?
It could very well be, because the dreamer is a hidden influence in the spread, and the Ace of Fire is right now. It is actually, the Ace of Earth is right now, and the Ace of Fire is following up, like in the very near future. And the Ace of Earth is right now. So what you have right now, there's a good opportunity for a flow of abundance coming from this. But you have to keep that initial motivation. You know, the spark that got you started on this, you know, it needs nurturing. It needs constant attention. And, you know, you have to be able to go with the flow and accept certain risks. Okay? And where it's all heading is the Eight of Water. And the Eight of Water is telling me that, you know, when all is said and done, you're going to move on from this, and you're going to move on to something else. And it's something that you're going to have to leave behind that you're a bit emotionally attached to in order to go further with your goals and progress. Okay?
And this is TarotDactyl. I just want to throw out there, you know, along with what Maria is saying, you know, I get the Five of Wands, and it makes it feel like there might be, it feels like you're doing several things at once right now, and maybe they're competing with each other a little bit. And it's talking about, like, exactly what Maria was saying about not losing sight of this one thing. The Ace of Cups comes up, you know, it's almost like saying, you know, like, really nurture and fall in love with the idea and follow through by taking action and not underestimating yourself. And expansion is such a big word that comes up with this too. So I see something you've started really recently is going to be expanding, and it's also with that bringing, you know, making the financial situation better. It also gives you a well-needed rest. So I don't know if you're feeling a little bit, you know, exhausted right now, but a lot is saying that, you know, she's going to be able to get this thing going so that she can kind of get some rest that she needs.
Well, I think you're right on. I really started writing a book recently. It was started out as an app, something simpler, and it evolved into a book. And I'm like, oh, God.
There's our expansion.
Wow.
So it's a big project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, but just, you know, I'm sure you love what you're doing, and just, you know, remember that, you know, and just allow yourself to feel it. And it's like, you know, I've got a lot going on, but I love this, and I'm going to go ahead and just let it flow.
Yeah, and it's exactly what was coming up in my cards, too. We got to move on to the next call, Jane. Thanks so much for calling in. But, it was showing up, with the hard work, with that Eight of Pentacles and then, little overburden with the Ten of Wands. Too many irons in the fire there. You got to focus in, narrow your focus in on that book and just, get to work, basically. That's what that Eight of Pentacles was talking about. Let's take on our let's go to our last caller here. I want to mention real quickly that we do have a Facebook group just for Angels Monday, for the Angels Monday radio show. If you're on Facebook, you can search for the Angels Monday show, or just go to rainbowpsychics.com/angels. It'll take you right over there. Okay. Our last caller here. Caller, are you there?
I am here. How are you all?
Great.
Good.
Who's this?
This is Queen.
And where are you calling in from, Queen?
Calling in from heaven.
All righty. You got a question for us?
I do. I have a major issue with a major airline. And what I'm doing now is I'm gathering together all the pieces that I need to be victorious in my dealing with them, their injustice.
Wow. Okay.
All righty. So what's your question for us?
Anything you can tell me that I need to know pertaining to dealing with the airline over being successful in dealing with their injustice to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So we're going to look that up, see what comes up, and see if there's any tidbits of information on how you should be dealing with this situation. It's showing up in the cards. It's reflected, the Three of Swords, what she's dealing with, Mary and Maria.
I got that card, too.
Oh, wow, there you go. But I'm getting the Five of Swords, kind of the aftermath after the battle. And it's almost like the tarot saying to me, is it really going to be worth it all? Because then the next card is justice. Okay, so justice is going to be served. However, right after that, you've got the Seven of Pentacles. And in this situation, this is post, there's justice, there's the court case and the the actual happenings and what the ruling is. But then afterwards, she's not that much better, farther along or anything like that. She's not really happy with the outcome. And then the very last card is the Three of Wands. She's back looking out, looking out to the ocean, trying to figure out what to do again. So, I'm not so sure that the whole thing is actually, you may win. Like in the Five of Swords, you win, but then is the aftermath even worth it? What are you guys getting?
Well, okay, this is Maria Maas, Queen, and, not to repeat, already what Dax said, because I had gotten the card, that the Three of Air, which is like the Three of Swords, because I have the Angel Tarot. What I see here, that the cards that are jumping out at me is that there's going to be, there's a hidden influence here, is that there's going to be a sudden event that is going to take place that's going to require your immediate attention, okay? So there's something else that's going to evolve, and I'm not sure if it has to do with this or if it's something else altogether that takes your attention away. However, I got the card of the King of Earth that comes up in the outcome, okay? And that leads me to think that you're going to have some assistance here. Somebody's going to come to, to your aid. There's going to be you're going to hook up with the right person who's going to be able to assist you here. And the card that supports that is the Seven of Fire, and it's saying, it's about defending your beliefs. So I feel like that in order for you to win this, you're going to need assistance from somebody, and the person is going to be somebody that's good with numbers, very analytical. So you may find that you need some help to achieve what you want to achieve and winning this battle or whatever the heck is going on between you and this airline. Okay, so you need some assistance. And what I'm getting is along the same lines. I think there is a hidden element of this, for sure. I drew a rune on that, got AWAS, and it can speak to like there's something that you're not aware of or that's secretive in a sense. But I also pulled a couple cards, and they all have to do with saying that, like, you know what, it's going to take a lot. You're going to have to persevere through this. And then also the King of Swords comes up, and it may require the assistance of an attorney, even, along the lines of what Maria was saying, because if you're dealing with a big, corporation like an airlines or something, they've got deep pockets. They can hire the best attorneys. They can hire a whole battalion. And usually, a lot of times, you need somebody to be an advocate for you that can kind of deal with that kind of paperwork that gets thrown at you with that kind of situation. I agree.
Oh,
I got the King of Swords too.
I think that just goes without saying, in a situation like this. But I just can't get away from what came up in those cards. It was like one of the clearest readings I've seen in weeks, where it's just wow. It's like, yeah, you're probably going to win if you go after this. Is it going to be worth it ultimately? I don't see it. I don't see this, giant windfall kind of thing, or, other people that have had successful fights with the airlines, and won cash awards or whatever from the court and that kind of thing. Ultimately, it's just, wow, it's just not in the cards. It just, it's like, is it even worth it? Well, we're almost out of time. We got to go to the angel messages, but really quickly, I wanted to remind everybody that if you'd like to get a reading with Maria Maas, go to mysticinsightstarot.com. TarotDactyl is at tarodactyl.net, and I'm at daxhasyournumber.com. So, Maria, you're just going to take us out and end the show with the angel messages of the week.
Wonderful. Okay. All right, everybody. Here are your angel messages for the week of September 23rd, 2013. Today, I have used the Angel Dreams Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Melissa Virtue. Monday, dancing. The angels want you to take some time today to get up and move. Movement will help your energy to get flowing. Your physical energy will get a boost, and your spiritual energy vibrations will be raised to a higher frequency. Tuesday, astral travel. The angels are reminding you that your soul knows no bounds. Your soul is pure spirit and is not limited to the confines like that of your physical body. So ask the angels to help you take advantage of this during your sleep. There are no limits to where your soul can travel during this time. You can visit with a departed loved one. You can travel to a foreign land or even another time period. Ask your angels to help you recall your astral travels upon awakening. Wednesday, angels. Your guardian angels are reassuring you that they are with you at this time. They are happiest when you call upon them for support and guidance. Thursday, High Council. The High Council is made up of beings of love and light that come from across the universes to help you achieve your highest potential. You have recently made significant strides towards being the best you can be. The High Council is supporting you and encouraging you to move forward with the plans that you have for your future. Reach for the stars. You have what it takes. Friday, snake. In dreams, the snake is a symbol of rebirth, release, and integration. What transitions are you going through? What needs to be released? Are you making an effort to integrate mundane knowledge with esoteric wisdom? Now is a good time to pursue studies in both of these areas. Saturday, Sun. The angels want you to take advantage of the divine wisdom of Father God. They are urging you to keep an open mind to all things seen and unseen. Take the time to pursue the study of the things that intrigue and inspire you. This will illuminate the path to your God-given power and fullest potential. Call upon Archangels Michael, Uriel, and Sandalphon for assistance. Sunday, silver. The angels want you to take advantage of the divine wisdom of Mother God. This is a good time to share your work, knowledge, or special project with the public. Balance is key, and it is important to be aware of the moon cycles and how it affects your energy levels. Any decisions that are made should be made using a balance of logic and intuition. Wearing silver can help you tap into and balance this energy. Call upon Archangels Haniel, Jophiel, and Gabriel for assistance. This concludes our angel messages for the week. In love and light, Maria Maas, Mystic Insights Tarot.
Awesome.
Wow. Perfect timing, too, because we're down to our 90 seconds here.
Wow.
Anything else, anything really, really quick that TarotDactyl or Maria you want to announce or anything?
Actually, anybody that's looking to plan their fall events, I have a fall special right now. If you're in the Long Island, New York area, I'm offering a free reading if you can book a party of 6 people or more. And this doesn't have to be in your home. This could be at Long Island Cooking Cafe and Tea Room located in Islip, New York. So just drop me a line, go to mysticinsightstarot.com, send me a message, let me know if you're interested, and I'll send you more information.
Wow. I just want to let everybody know, remind you to join us for Cosmic Coffee with Cooch this Wednesday and Rowdy Readers on Friday. TarotDactyl?
Well, I just wanted to remind everybody not to forget that their angels love them.
Always. Always. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Angelo.
It was fun.
Lots of fun.
The quest for true spirit. The quest for freedom. The quest for Vem da mão.